Hey guys, thanks for joining us here on Next with Dave. Tonight I'm going to be cooking some dinner for the family here. We're going to do some roasted jalapenos. We're going to do some roasted red, green, and yellow peppers. We're going to do some roasted Brussels sprouts. And we're going to do some griddle seared salmon. Let's get to cooking. We got our griddle warming up. Right now it's about 250 to 270, various places. So we're going to start out with our peppers. Get them started, spread them out just a little bit. I put some olive oil, salt, and pepper on these to get them started. Now we like these with caramelization that you get on them. So what I'm going to do is take one of the pans that I made with the handle on it. I'm going to put that right there. I'm going to let it press right like that. Then I'm going to take the jalapenos and we'll start them over here. Same thing. Some olive oil, salt and pepper with the other pan. What this will do is this will press them and give them that nice flattened, caramelized look and flavor. Did start that over too far. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of move these over a little bit. Get them on the hottest part of the griddle. Over here. And I want to make room for the Brussels sprouts. The next thing I want to do is take some butter. Spread it around over here. Get my Brussels sprouts started. Now, Brussels sprouts take a minute to cook before you caramelize them. Kind of let them steam cook just a little bit. We're going to let those steam in there. If you haven't seen it already, I did a video with some of these tools that I'm using and some of the racks and equipment and modifications that I've made, so please check out some of the other videos. I think you'll find them interesting and it may be something that you want to do in your cooking process. So let's take a look real quick, see how our jalapenos are coming along. Yeah, they're coming along nicely. Give them another minute. They'll start to flatten out here in just a few minutes as we continue to cook. Just gotta give them enough time to do it. I want the temperature not too hot for your Brussels sprouts, pretty hot for these peppers, so that you can get the caramelization on. And in the meantime, I set the mood with a little tropical refreshment. All right, let's take a look at our Brussels sprouts, see how they're coming along. Yeah, they're starting to cook. Starting to soften up a little bit. Once they're softened up, then I'll lay them all down, flat side down, and I'll do the turn the heat up and let them caramelize. Take a look at our peppers. See how they're doing. Yeah, they're coming along just fine. I'm going to let them sit like this for a minute, let some of that liquid burn off of them. I think I'll do the same thing over here. See how these guys are looking. Oh yeah, they're coming on. probably already know this, but when you cook jalapenos, they do lose quite a bit of their heat, and they get a much better flavor. Yeah, they're smelling good. Salt, pepper, oil, that's all it takes. Now, you don't have to have these fancy bacon presses, steak presses. Just take a brick, wrap it with aluminum foil, and you can use that to hold your pan down. Just be careful that you've got a good oven mitt on before you ever pick it up. I really recommend that you, if you have a brick, that you pick it up with something besides your hand. Well, yeah, they're steaming up real nice. Getting soft. As long as it's fine. A little bit more time to soften up, and then I'll lay them all out to caramelize. So right now for the peppers, I've got these two middle burners on full on high, and this outer burner on about 1/4, and then over here for the Brussels sprouts, I've got that on low. But I did turn the valve on my adjustable regulator up a little bit. It's a moving target, you know. The more I turn that valve up, the higher low is and the higher high is. Yeah, they're starting to flatten down a little bit. Look good. Yeah, I think I'm going to bring that up just a little bit. Okay, these guys are probably ready to start laying out on their flat sides. Now, I'm doing all these vegetables first because I want to have a clean griddle for when I do this salmon. You know, I'm not going to cover these up. Steam them for a while, just let them soften up and get cooked, and then caramelize them. I've got this on low, and I turned my burner to where it's a little lower than it was at first. So now I'm going to check my peppers again. See why I like this extra rack that I added? So that I've got a little more space to work with than I did before. Yeah, they're starting to look like some peppers, huh? You do the same thing whether you cook in peppers for fajitas or Philly or steak sandwiches. Certainly not the common Philly steak, but steak sandwiches are cooked the same way with peppers. Pan over them, let them press. As you know from previous videos, try to have and use as little oil as possible. I did put some oil on the food when I was preparing it, but if you notice, I didn't add any oil to the pan or the griddle, except for a little butter where the Brussels sprouts go. These guys are coming along nicely. Trying to pick the ones out that are at the point of caramelization that I want, and move them on a little lower heat so that they're all done about the same amount. Some of them are, some of them aren't. I don't want to burn them, but I certainly want them to be caramelized. Just turn it up a little bit. done. Good. The peppers are coming along nicely. There's a little bit. Now let's check on the jalapenos. These are special order by the photographer, so I got to get them right. Oh yeah, it's looking good. That heat up. I think we're done with the pans as far as putting the pans on top of them, so we'll stage those down here. Don't need these guys anymore. Okay, just out of the way. I really love this surround. If you don't have one, I thoroughly recommend that you get one. It just makes life a lot easier for you. Now, one of the things you can do with this menu on this is it'd be nice to have a little rice on the side. I'm not doing that tonight, but I do want to show you that an extra place that I can cook things like rice or boiled potatoes. I did get just a single burner hot plate, and it'll get up to over 500 degrees just like your burner inside. I've got power strip under here, and I can turn, of course, my fan's plugged in and my hot plate's right here. So if I want to cook soup or potatoes or rice or any kind of sauce or anything, I've got a hot plate burner out here that I can do that on. All right, I think these guys are about ready to come off the griddle, and I can get ready to start cooking my salmon. So I'll put them on one of our pans that we did down on this end. These guys up here. That end. These guys up here. I'm ready to take the Brussels sprouts off. And we'll just put that up there while we're waiting. Pan up that so that they don't cool off too much, and then I'm going to clean the griddle and we'll get cooking on some salmon. All right, guys, we're ready to start cooking our salmon. So I cleaned the griddle off from what we were cooking before. For the salmon, I am going to use a little bit of oil. I don't have to use too much. Make sure that we get back to a non-stick surface here. Now, the key to salmon is cook the skin side down for a while. To me, salmon should be cooked pretty rare if it's a good cut. So we're at 325, which is just about right for the first pass on the skin side down. Right in the hottest part of the griddle. Let it cook. Turn it up a little bit. So right now we're still at about 320, 334, 350. Come down a little bit. That's a smaller piece. Don't want that to get too hot. Yeah, 350, 320. On my griddle, right here and here is the hottest spot. And it gets cooler as you go out. All right, let's take a look and see how it's coming along. Yeah, looking good. Let's take the lids off for a few minutes. Let them just sizzle on the bottom there. Now I am going to turn them over in a minute. But you can see the nice salmon fat start to render out. You'll see this color come up. So wondering what all that green stuff is on the salmon. What we like is salt, pepper, and dill. Nothing else. All right, we're looking at about still 350 right there. 336. I did turn this down, 330. That's looking good. You want the skin to cook, not because we're going to eat the skin, we don't. But when I flip this over, I'm going to take that skin off. I'm going to char this side of it, and then I'm going to flip it back over and char the fat that's still left on the salmon. Matter of fact, this piece may be just about ready to flip. We'll take a look at how charred that side is. Yeah, that's getting good. That's getting good. Okay, ready to flip one. See how that skin's coming off? That's okay, that's what you want. I want to take that skin off right there. I'm going to flip that back over, and that's going to cook that. So it really doesn't take very long on this side for it to get charred and cooked. I don't want to burn the dill. I don't want to burn the salt. I just want to cook it on that side for just a minute, flip it back over, and finish. We'll give that a few minutes and it'll be done. Just for a moment. See how that's getting nice and crispy on that where that fat was? Now this oil you see is the natural oils from the fish. It's not that grease. Not oil. Olive oil. Okay guys, so I'm ready to take this one off because it's a smaller piece. Again, I do not want to overcook this salmon, so I'm going to take it off and put it on a plate right now. This one, I'll give it just another second on the other side. Give that just another minute and it'll be done. Now, the burners, this is 368, 319, 366, so it's really a pretty high temp, but I like steak temperature. So let's take a look and see how rare this one is. That's perfect. You want a little bit rare. It'll finish cooking on the plate. We're done. Thanks for watching. If you like what we're doing out here, please like this video. Please subscribe. I appreciate all you guys that have already subscribed. I'll see you next with Dave.